Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a brand new event on the WRC calendar. Welcome to Rally Croatia 2021, the first true tarmac test our drivers have had since 2019. Yes, we've been to Rally Monte Carlo, but that, as we all know, has got a bit of snow and ice on it. Here, pure tarmac, and we start with our championship leader off the line at Shakedown this morning, Kalle Rovanperä. I'm Bex Williams, and alongside me is Julian Porter to talk you through all things Shakedown here in Croatia. And what do we see in front of us? Well, we see sunny conditions. It's dry. It's going to be beautifully warm this weekend. And proper tarmac out there. There's a good mix of tarmac across the whole 3 days here, Julian.
Yeah, it is. It's great to be on another new event. Love the challenge of it all. And this is, you've driven this stage, Bex, yesterday. I've driven Fridays and Saturday stages. It all looks quite similar. It's fast, it's medium speed corners. There's so many pitfalls, so many different surface changes, leaves on the inside of corners, cuts where the mud can be dragged out. You've got the odd stage though with these marker posts. It's quite strange because when we were wrecking, there was none on the Friday stages, there was lots on the Saturday stages. They've got them out here, but this curbing, you can't run wide. You could damage any wheels, suspension, steering and things like that. There's many things that is out there as jeopardy. One thing that's been taken away a little bit is the weather, because it was raining on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Julian, there was even snow at the side of some of the stages at the beginning of the week. That is completely gone now, everyone, because we've had really nice temperatures here in Croatia so far. But what is going to be a challenge, as Julian mentioned, we have a full mix this weekend of tarmac, asphalt, a little bit of broken concrete in some places.
Some gravel. There is small sections.
There is small sections of gravel. It's a full-on mix. Some of the drivers have compared it to other rallies they've been to, but if truth be told, a lot of them have said this is incomparable to any other full rally. It's unique, but it does have elements of a little bit of Rally France in the Alsace region. Jari-Matti Latvala compared it a little bit to the German Saarland stages. Rally Island has also popped up.
Bulgaria came in.
Bulgaria as well. Unusually as well, you're going to find this weekend, everyone, there are jumps on tarmac stages. Seb Ogier saying potentially huge jumps, and that's really rare to see on tarmac. Gravel, yeah, but tarmac, no. But already you're seeing quite high speeds here, and there will be a mix. Overall, the average speed might look quite low during the weekend, but there are certain sections of these stages which are blindingly fast. Hopefully you're going to be with us for the entire weekend on WRC Plus. As ever, we have every single stage of Rally Croatia live for you.
You can see here, Bex, we're on one of the newer pieces of road. Recently laid tarmac. It's nice and clean, it's very grippy, but there is so many different surfaces. Stage 1, in the first 1 kilometre, there's about 6 different surface changes. Rovanperä, he'd be happy with that. He'd be happy first on the road, I think, this weekend. The cleanest line possible.
Well, the cleanest line possible, but his team boss, Jari-Matti, mentioned yesterday that he feels road position has been obliterated by the cutting already on the recce.
Yeah.
There's been so much cutting on the recce, it's so messy out there that being first on the road, he will.
Of the road then, yeah.
He will. We switch to Thierry Neuville now then. Second in the championship as we head into this event. And we've got Kalle at stage 8.
You must be really looking forward to getting into Friday stages with a clear road ahead of you as championship leader.
Yeah, it's nice to be in this position for sure, but the condition on Friday looks that it's after the recce already really dirtied the road, so for sure it will not help us so much to be first, but yeah, it's a nice feeling.
I'm sure it is a nice feeling, but confirming what we were saying there, it's already quite messy out on the roads. It's going to be a real challenge this weekend, and that's Ben Constanduras at the stage end for us, interviewing all our drivers this morning.
I'm so pleased this year we got 4 tarmac events. Looking at these cars, we lose these cars at the end of the year. We've got a new generation again next year. Seeing these cars in that low slung tarmac spec, they're so wide, they just like stuck to the road. Oh, it's just great.
So many people love the tarmac spec. It's the favourite spec of all.
And it's so on-the-limit driving. We did a piece last night, which would go out across the platforms over the weekend with Neuville about driving technique on tarmac and how aggressive you've got to be, how committed you are, because there is so much grip from the tyres, but mainly from the aero. And it is like absolutely on the limit. Plus 5.1. I know it's only Shakedown, but plus 5.1.
And it is only the first run of Shakedown as well. Come on.
Rovanperä, this guy's a tarmac specialist.
Well, maybe, you know, he's just warming up this morning. Maybe he hasn't quite had that espresso.
Okay, I won't get excited.
Don't get too excited. First run of Shakedown. Let's remind you that, you know, they can have up to as many runs as they want out there, essentially. 2:47.9 was Rovanperä's time. 2:53 was the time of Neuville. As we switch now then to Seb Ogier and Julien Ingrassia. Now, there has been a poll on WRC.com of late, Julien, who is going to win Rally Croatia. This man is second favourite at the moment with 23.1% of the vote. Oyt Tanak is your favourite at the moment if you have been voting on WRC.com. Oyt is favourite to win, then it's Seb, then it's Thierry. Surprisingly, it's only 7.7% of the vote for Rovanperä at the moment. First man on the road. I haven't decided yet who my favourite is, but if you want to let us know who your favourite to win the event is, please vote and also have a chat with us on social media using the hashtag WRCLive. Ogier always loves a new challenge or a brand new event. We've had plenty of those recently in COVID times, of course.
I think what it is your talent potentially can rise a little bit higher. When you've got an event that we've done many times, your newer drivers can sit and watch WRC Plus, watch the onboards, sneak a little bit of info from the drivers who've been around for a long time. When it's a new event, everyone's starting from a blank sheet of paper, and then you can really use your experience to get in there. So
you can already see in parts of the stage, you know, even though there are
anti-cut.
The anti-cut bars on the side, there's still gravel being pulled out on this short Shakedown stage. It's just over 4.5 kilometres in length.
And I would say there, like, I think, as you said, it's only the first pass, but potentially Neuville, and then you look at Ogier's time, they're maybe being really careful because they don't know how much dirt's going to be pulled out. Calais had the better of the road.
2:51.8 was the time for Ogier. That's second quickest through on our run this morning as we switch now to Alvin Evans and Scott Martin. And we hear from Seb with Ben.
It's not often these days that you get to experience a brand new rally. How are you excited for Croatia?
Very excited. I think the road looks fun, very diverse, like a different section, but could be everything to make a nice rally.
For me, you never write Ogier and Ingrassia off. What he's just said there is, it's fun, and that just tells me so good. He's looking forward to this a lot. You know, some people come to a new rally, and we talked about it just before, they come to a new rally and they're a little bit worried. He sees this as a golden opportunity, you know. Alvin Evans stating recently that he's not been super happy with his start. He's got the same points as his teammate.
I know, but he's not quite felt it so far this season. On the 2 rounds we've had in Monte Carlo and the Arctic, he felt there's just something a little bit missing from his drive. Now we switch to full true tarmac, and as we've mentioned, it is going to be challenging because the conditions are going to be so difficult out there this weekend with some messy roads to deal with. Now, this man, Alvin Evans, is the classic at dealing with those conditions. I would think maybe the best of any of the other drivers. You've got to remember Corsica, a good few years ago, where we had that hurricane, all those difficult rainy conditions, broken tarmac. Who was the man who's leading at the end of the day? Alvin Evans.
Yeah, second quickest. They're just behind Rovanperä. There is a gap. So Tanak and Martin over here. Let's see what the fans suggestion or the fans' favourite on that poll you were talking about, Bex.
Yeah, absolutely, he is the fans' favourite to win. And let's just go back briefly. Oh no, I tell you what, we'll hear from Alvin first, then we'll go back briefly.
Alvin, a brand new bit of aero for the Toyota this weekend. Is it something you're feeling well in the car?
Yeah, the car's feeling good. So yeah, all okay so far.
We actually haven't seen that aero yet in any pictures properly. It is absolutely brilliant. I fell in love with it yesterday when I saw it. It's my new favourite bit of aero on a World Rally car.
We will show you a little bit more up close and personal during the weekend with the new aero on that Toyota Yaris. Yeah, let's go back briefly to what I thought was a superb performance from Oit and Martin at the Arctic Rally in Finland just a few weeks ago. It wasn't so much the talking point. The talking point was Oliver Solberg and his amazing performance, but these guys barely put a wheel wrong.
Yeah, you're right. Solberg was the talking point, but Martin and Oit's first two stages were the turning point because they were led after two stages by 16.6 seconds. They won the rally by 18 and 19. They won the rally on the first two stages. Oit really puts a lot of effort into those first stages of the rally because he knows that's where you can really demoralise your rivals. On that downhill section towards that hairpin, the road is really dirty with leaves now. So it's sunny now out there, but if it's under the trees, those leaves could be still a little bit damp, and that's where it could be slippy. So, but yeah, Oit, he really strikes the iron very, very quickly on new rallies. Get in. You know, Estonia, we expected him to be quick there last year. First two stages, bang. Let's just sort this out now and let them try and catch me.
Quite a bit down from the time of Rovanperä then on the first pass of our shakedown stage. 2:53.9 is the time for Oit Hanak. As we switch now to Craig Breen and Paul Nagel. Last time in a World Rally car on tarmac for Craig, you have to look back to 2019.
He waited for this for so long.
A long time. He drew comparisons to stages back in Ireland. When I pressed him for specifics on stages, he said, "Oh, I can't remember. My memory's not that brilliant, but definitely reminds me of various bits and pieces."
After the winning last time out, have you still been able to keep that positivity and momentum after such a long time?
Yeah, we are in a different part of the world now, but for sure, that's the target for this weekend.
It's a bit of a twinkle in Oit's eyes this morning. I think he knows what he can potentially go out and do here this weekend, and so do you out there. As we said, Oit Hanak is your favourite out there.
I think Craig is slightly, you know, we talked about the dirt on the road, the cutting and things like that. He would have loved to have just been 2 or 3 cars further up that road to take away. But as you pointed out, where these two grew up on roads, they are these demanding, ever-changing conditions. So if anyone's used to it, it's Craig Breen and Paul Nagel.
Yeah, absolutely, they will be. You know, tarmac is where Craig really does feel very, very much at home. We've seen some great performances from him across the surface. Let's have a listen in to Paul here.
40, late through right half, last tighten, slowing 40, slow for right sharp, tighten, 40, late 4 left minus post, 40, depth, 4 late 4 left minus tighten, post, depth, and 4 right half, last tighten, don't, 30 to the finish, 4 left tighten, cut, growling noise out of the brakes,
Yeah, you could hear the brakes just like... But I mean, as long as they work, it doesn't matter what noise they make, as long as they work. But you hear a lot of World Rally cars, or rally cars in general, it's squeaking a lot on the brakes. Taka on his way.
Yeah, Takamoto Katsuta. Now, I'm really keen to see how he performs this weekend, because improving performances from him, I know he's already as well starting to reflect inwards. He hasn't been too happy with what he's been producing. I think he could be something special on tarmac this weekend. A reminder to everyone that Japanese commentary now available on WRC Plus All Live.
Craig, you absolutely love a tarmac rally, but how tricky is it going to be from your road position with all the pollution that we're expecting?
Yeah, look, it's very difficult. Honestly, even now it's tough to get back into the car again. I was in the R5 last, and things come at you a lot quicker in this show, but all okay for the moment.
Yeah, they do. Everything is much quicker, obviously, stepping into the World Rally car out of the R5, which he was in last weekend.
Yeah, San Remo weekend before, which he won. So, I mean, yeah, he was there, wasn't it? But yeah, Taka, when he did his test, he had all the conditions. He had the dry roads, the wet roads. So if it does rain, I mean, the weather forecasters seem to have stabilised and settled now. When we were looking at it 3 or 4 days ago, wow, we were in for a right soaking, we were.
Yeah, it looks as if it is going to be potentially a dry weekend out there, but that doesn't change the fact that the cuts that the drivers will be taking will be bringing existing mud and just gravel onto the roads out there, which is, yeah, it's going to make it a test. And everyone seems to be like, you know, very much, yes, we're up for this. Craig's time then was 2:55.7. So we've got 6 drivers through now on the first run of Shakedown here at Rally Croatia. Brand new event on the WRC Championship calendar. It's the 3rd round of the FIA World Rally Championship this season.
All I'll say about Taka is we've seen him be quite flamboyant.
Yeah.
He's going to have to just dial that back a bit because there's so many obstacles to clip.
Now we're with Gus Greensmith and new co-driver for him here, Chris Patterson. Chris Patterson, of course, has co-driven many, many people within the World Championship, maybe most famously Petter Solberg back in his privateer days.
Taku, plenty of experience on tarmac over the years. Are you confident coming into this one?
Let's say it's gonna be very challenging weekend, so of course I try to be very steady and getting more, you know, even more confident. But yeah, anyway, it's will be very tricky. So I try to, build my confidence starting the weekend and try to be. I try to learn a lot of things from these tricky rallies. Thank you.
Thank you, Taka. Let's have a listen in to Chris here. And a reminder of where you can watch all the stages this weekend.
Slow sharp right into flat sharp 4 right 50 4 right tight 4 minus right then 4 minus left tight post 4 minus 70 down open left tight 4 flat curve.
The road's really dirty in the forest though, with lots of leaves and just mess on the inside of corners.
Right tight flat 4 flat 30 caution low right tight 4.
Something that I think Gus will be happy about too. The first stage is quite short, 6.5 Ks or something, because he has said in the first 2 rounds this year he struggled in the first stage, he needs to get himself organised. A short first stage might just help him tomorrow if he can get himself sorted, and even if he doesn't, he's not going to lose a huge amount in 6.5 Ks.
And Gus completes first pass of Shakedown. And it's a 2:56.7 for Gus. As we switch now to that second M Sport car, it's Adrien Fourmeau and Renaud Jamoul. And an incredible weekend and a step up for Adrien into the WRC now. What a remarkable story for him. You know, he was asked a few times last night in our team calls with the manufacturers, with the drivers, you know, does he feel that he's on, does he compare himself to the likes of Solberg, Rovanperä? We'll come back to that in a minute. Let's hear from Gus. We can't hear Gus at the moment. Apologies for that. Yeah, he said, you know, I don't compare myself to Solberg or Rovanperä at all. I'm a completely different driver. You know, they were driving from birth pretty much, weren't they? They were into a car. That was their trajectory. They were always going to be a motorsport. And Fourmeau was studying a medical degree. He was going to be a doctor till 3 years ago. And he jumped into a rally car and the rest is history. It's a very different career path
it's a
that
great
he has
story,
chosen.
though, as
but
well.
it's a fantastic story because this boy has some serious talent.
Well, I kind of gained a lot of respect for Fourmeau only on the second rally we ever saw him on. He did his first World Rally, Monte Carlo, WRC 2, finished second.
Second, yeah, that's right.
In an R5 car at the time. And then he turns up in Sweden in a 2-wheel drive Fiesta. And I said to him, I said, why have you come? He said, I didn't have the budget to do it in 4-wheel drive, but I want to do the rally to learn, so I just took what I could with the budget I had. Some drivers would have just said, well, if I can't have my 4-wheel drive car, I'm not going. He just wanted to be there and found a car that he could get within his budget.
So it's the 6th quickest time through so far for Fourmeau. It's a 2:54 on his first run through Shakedown.
And a day and a half of testing here. He had half a day in Lapland. Not that I'd be any used to him here, apart from it got him used to the car. But he did Rally Legend last year, did him at Fourmeau, and was the highest placed WRC car. I'm looking forward to see what Lube can do here. We've already touched on roads here, looking a little bit like Corsica, things like that. Lube is a tarmac guy. Quite keen to see what he can do. We saw that stage time in Monty when he was second quickest. Granted, a lot of it was down to tyres, but you still got to drive the car.
Andreas, the French love a good tarmac rally. Your first time in a proper WRC car. How much of a step up is it?
It was just enjoyable, to be honest. I'm so happy. I have the smile all the stage, so it's just now, okay, the stage is quite twisty and narrow, but it's not the easiest one for the first time, but honestly, I'm enjoying, and we'll see if we can improve, but I'm just happy.
I loved his little confirmation of his smile then when he pulled down the balaclava to show us. But yeah, he's in a World Rally car for the first time. If you can't be happy with that, you may as well just walk away right now. He's in a very good place, it sounds like. So, in total, we have 9 drivers through on our first run through the Shakedown stage. All competitive action out on the stages will begin tomorrow morning for us. We have a ceremonial start tonight, but the action begins tomorrow morning. The countdown to Robert Perez's fastest time through then begins for Lube. And a completed time on the board for him of 2:55.1. So the fastest time, still Robin Perez, right at the top there, 2:47.9. As we switch now to our support categories and to Andreas Mickelson, our championship leader within WRC2. He's had a great start to the season so far, hasn't he? I mean,
yeah, first and a second, and
it was Lappies obviously in the Arctic Rally. We saw Esa-Pekka Lappi step into WRC2. He took the win there, but for Andreas, he's been racking up the points. He's in a good position now as we head into this event. As Lube leaves, so we haven't heard from Pierre-Louis, but you'll hear plenty from him during the weekend.
WRC2 this weekend's pretty strong, isn't it? Yeah, Formers
again
moved out, but Sunderland's gone in his place. Mads is back. Gryazin won a rally in Hungary last weekend, and but Mads was leading before he got the punch in the final stage. But him and Gryazin were out front. Gryazin taking the win. Mickelson, I think, was planned for 3 days of testing in Croatia before this rally. So there's a lot of resources being thrown at the WRC2 Championship this year.
There's a lot to keep track on this weekend at Rally Croatia. Not only do we have a strong WRC2 and 3 category, the Junior WRC starts its campaign here in Croatia on the tarmac roads, and those crews are ready to go. Julian's been spending a lot of time with them in the build-up to Rally Croatia, and we've got some interesting new recruits this year as well. It's great to see Will Crichton, who's joined the fray. I think it's going to be a fabulous year again in the junior category. So lots for everyone to keep an eye on across WRC Plus or live across WRC.com. There are daily edits that go up for the support categories, so you can keep a good eye across what everyone is doing.
That's it, and we're going to endeavour to do what we can to keep everybody up to date with them. But yeah, some interesting entries in Junior WRC. 3:0.10 for Mickelson. Obviously, time not reflective of what we've had before, because we are into just one of the support categories rather than the main categories. But
we have a lot of fans who are watching right now. I just want to say a huge good morning to wherever you're watching around the world. It's great to have you on board, and hopefully you're going to be with us for the next 3 days. We'd love to hear from you.
Morning, Andreas. How much of a challenge is this rally going to be for a WRC2 car?
Yeah, it's going to be a big challenge. Really beautiful roads. The Shakedown is quite tricky, a lot of edges. So played it quite cool in there. It will be a long rally, tricky rally, a lot of mud, so a bit different than here. So, but I'm happy with the car. It was working well.
It will be tricky, and that was, I think it was Craig Breen last time when we spoke to him. He said immediately, you're going to hear this word a lot this weekend because it is exceptionally tricky out there. Nikolai Gryazin, as you said, picking up the win in Hungary just at the weekend, gone.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Mads did a rally in Romania a couple of weeks ago, then he's gone to Hungary. And
you know, yeah, there's been some serious preparation, but this man, I think this is his 6th rally so far this season, Jules. He has been bashing in the rallies.
Dryerson's done this from when he first kind of appeared.
You're right.
Yeah, when he had his Skoda with SRT, in one year, I think he did something like 28, 29 rallies or something, so... Yeah.
I mean, he should be feeling completely at one now with the Volkswagen because, you know, this is the 6th rally for it. He should be feeling pretty much
Didn't
at home
really
in the
work
car.
last year in the Hyundai, did he, when he was elevated into their kind of like supported team?
He went then, was it Monza that he did in a Volkswagen? I can't remember. He did do one rally last year in this car, at least. He completes, and let's take a look at his time. It is quicker than Mickelson, 2:56.7.
Yeah, Mickelson was really careful in the narrow stuff. I noticed that there was a real kind of lots of respect for the edges of the road. Dryeson doesn't see, he is a bit kind of on the limit, ragged edge guy. I do like that about him.
I think that's why he's got a lot of fans. People like watching the way he drives because it is so full on, regardless of conditions. It is always flat out. So 2:56.7.
Like coming here off the back of a win last weekend, you must be feeling great.
Yeah, feeling great, but you know, WRC rounds, it's not the same as local rally, but we made a good warm-up, so now Shakedown just for checking the car, so I think I will see if it will go the second pass, but I'm not sure. Everything fine, car is working good, stages really nice, and it's very good to see the spectators after this long of time of COVID shit, and yeah, really exciting, and see you on the stages.
See you on the stages, Nikolai.
Yeah, apologies for his little description of what COVID is, but as you can see on
we
the
all agree
screen,
with him.
Yeah, we all agree with him. We just can't say it, so he's saying it for us. Marco Blasio, we didn't see him in Lapland because he had visa requirement problems, so that's all sorted now. He's back, so it'll take him a little while to get back up to speed, I suspect. You know, you miss a rally and it's very, very difficult to get back up there and get himself sorted, but Bryn Nilsson would have been hoping that the call might have come for another super sub situation.
Yeah, of course, Ivan Brynildsen stepped in for Balasia very last minute at the Arctic Rally Finland, him and Veronica Engan.
There's a lot of... I have a feeling Balasia's on a different strategy here. If you do Shakedown, you get allocated an additional 4 tyres.
It's very gentle run through, isn't it?
It's a very gentle run. There's nothing being taken out of those tyres at all. I got a feeling that Marco is thinking, I'm just going to cruise through here, put my sighter in, just get myself sorted, collect the extra tyres. But yeah, that was, again, a lot of respect being shown for what is around. But as we said, he hasn't done a lot because it's in Monty, so he maybe will come back out and do something else on a different set of tyres.
There is our stage end reporter, Ben Constanduros, getting ready to have a chat to Marco. Tyres looking very fresh. So a time for him of 3 minutes 4.1. It is the slowest time through WRC2, but as we said, it's a gentle run through for him there.
The smell of leaves cooking on your brakes after a nice run through this shakedown. What are you expecting from the Croatian stages, Marco?
Yeah, it will be a very difficult race. We expect to be... somehow we need to manage to keep on the road and also to show some pace.
Calm and collected interview.
He's always calm and collected. I don't think I've ever seen him flustered. Now, this man has been in commentary, our expert commentator and reporter as well.
He's let us down this weekend, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been in All Live for Monte Carlo and the Arctic Rally Finland, but now he is back where he truly belongs, behind the wheel of a rally car. Mads Osberg then and Torstein Eriksson.
I think he is going to try and join us occasionally and cause mischief, I think.
I'm sure he will. I put nothing past Mr. Osberg. But I am glad to see him back in action. He was a superb addition to our team and brilliant insights from Mads the whole weekend. But I'm sure all of you fans out there are really delighted to see him in the car this weekend and back in business and starting his WRC2 campaign here.
Another one who's done a lot of mileage in the car. So he did a rally in Romania. He was leading and he had an engine issue, so they stopped the car so they didn't destroy it because they needed the data out of it to see what was gone wrong. He was leading in Hungary last weekend until he got a puncture on the final stage. But he's done a huge amount of mileage in this car. Remember, it was a new car, upgraded version, and he has never really been out of it for quite a while. So the only times he was out of it was Monte Carlo and Lapland when he was stood with us.
One thing to note as well, of course, he is coming back to defend his WRC2 title. He's our champion from last year. He was so keen watching, especially, you know, Mickelson, who's leading the championship, and watching Mickelson at Rally Finland to see how many points he was going to get. Now, as we watch Mads, we have Enrico Brazoli, who's just completed the stage. 3:30.8 for Enrico.
Are you looking forward to a big challenge in WRC2 this weekend?
Okay, it's not good shoes of the tires. It's 5 for the tires for to use tomorrow, and it's very, very slippery. It's the first lap, and now try the feeling with the car. Okay.
So somebody else doing the tyre thing there, just admitting he's doing the tyre, so...
Til dott, kort 5 høyre pluss, 30 i line i kort 4 venstre pluss, i tidlig kort 5 høyre minus, hold inn 30 i halvsekk venstre minus, 30 kort 5 høyre pluss, åpne 60, slipper line kort 5, 50, halv 4 høyre minus, 40, og midt er kort 3 venstre, dott.
Torstein Eriksson calling out the pace notes.
You know, one thing, you know, from some of the stages I've seen, certainly on the Sunday, the first stage on Sunday morning, very much has a Monte Carlo feel about it. You're climbing up the mountainside, get to top of a col, and then down the other side. And I can't remember which driver last night did throw in. I think it was Adrian Formeau, actually, who noted the comparison to Monte Carlo, specifically with that stage. There's a real heady mix of lots of different tarmac rallies that the drivers have been picking out. We've mentioned Bulgaria, Alsace, Germany, Rally Island, of course. But one thing I'm really keen to see, especially from this man as well, is how would they approach the jumps that we have on offer this weekend. You've driven some of the stages with the jumps on, I believe, Jules, yeah?
Yeah, as you say, there is. Oh, Mantis at the end of the stage. Look at that.
Oh, straight away.
Professional, knows what he's got to do.
3:03.6 for Mads.
Mads, back where you belong inside a C3 for the WRC. Your first time back, it must be a great feeling.
Yeah, it is. It's good to be back in the car, of course. So there's a lot we need to learn about this rally over the weekend. So it's a big challenge ahead.
Yeah, it is a big challenge. But yeah, you were mentioning about how Timo's pretty committed. He likes jumps. And you do occasionally see jumps on timer, but not massively.
Yeah, and not big jumps. And
no.
Ogier mentioned, you know, some of them have the potential to be quite big. But also what he mentioned is that the jumps are on narrow sections, straight into corners. So it's quite difficult to get your line right. You have to be spot on perfect.
And what I've seen on a couple of places when we've driven the stages is corners, like there's crests, and corners immediately, or corners turning over crests and things like that. It's got a lot of everything in there, and I can't wait. I just drove the first stage and I was like, oh, this is nice. Like stage 9, stage 11, things like that. Absolutely beautiful. We're in for a bit of a treat, we really are. I mean, Croatia Rally's come in, taking advantage of what is happening with the pandemic and things like that. And I tell you what, they've given us a big challenge anyway.
Teemu Suunanen completes then. And it's 16.7, as you can see from the fastest. That's the WRC car there, obviously, of Rovanperä, just behind Bulasia. Some leaves in the front grille there.
Yeah, that could be a problem that they have here this weekend. I did notice World Rally teams are running 2 double grill. They're running a double grill to stop the leaves sucking onto the front, like they had, like M Sport had in Monty and things like that last year. So it is something that they're doing. Whether R5 car, the Rally 2 cars, can run those special double gauzed grills, I'm not sure, but it is something that we'll just try and keep an eye on as well over the weekend.
Teemu, into a Rally 2 car for this weekend. How difficult is it to change disciplines and change speeds?
It's difficult, especially when I had now my first driving on tarmac, so not very easy, but we are trying to do our best and let's see what we can do.
We will be watching with interest, Mr. Sunanen, to see what you can do.
He's a confidence driver as well.
Yeah.
And he's just a little bit nervous there, isn't he? So
Kalle Rovanperä then with the fastest time through the first run of Shakedown, which is 2:47.9. Then it's Alvin Evans, Ogier, Neuville, Tanak, Formeau, Katsuta and Lube down to the top 8 there. Rounding out the top 10 for us is Breen and Greensmith, and faster so far, at least in the WRC2 category, it's Nikolai Gryazen, just ahead of Mickelson, then Osberg, Bulasia, Sunanen and Brazoli. And that is our standing
Toyota
so
1, 2, 3. That's quite telling there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, first run of Shakedown so far. Let's head now into the service park and join Kiri and PK.
Well, thank you to our commentary team around the world. 20 stages, over 300 kilometers. Rally Croatia has begun. PK, the sun's out. This is looking like it's going to be an epic rally.
It is, and we talk about it a lot, but in this pandemic-affected world, also got to remember this is our 4th new rally since we got that Operation Restart up and running in Estonia last year. So always a big factor, isn't it? When it's a new rally, new pace notes, that's something else that's going to be another thing to think about, as well as it being our return to tarmac.
Yeah, indeed. OK, well, the juniors are joining us for the first time this season, and somebody has moved up. And forward is our junior champion, reigning junior champion at the moment, Tom Christensen. He's headed out onto Shakedown. Now, just having a look at him go through. Now, that Shakedown stage proved quite tricky for Timo out there, so it's going to be interesting to see what his reports are. Let's hear from Tom in just a moment, but interesting to hear what Timo was saying.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Of course, we've got to remember that Timo, we knew from the start of the season, he's sharing the World Rally Fiesta car with Adrian Formeau, who is in the World Rally Fiesta this weekend. Of course, it's difficult for Timo to step back. I know Rich Milliner wants to make sure he's in at least a car for the whole season, so that'll be interesting to see. But it does give us a fascinating lineup again, doesn't it, in WRC2 with all these World Rally regulars, Mickelson and Osberg, former winners, of course, at the top level. We saw Lappi last time out, and now Timo, he sounded a little bit downbeat in that interview, didn't he? Because it is strange for him taking the step back in power, but going to be an interesting battle to watch there in WRC2.
Yeah, indeed. Well, they mentioned the surface out there plenty. There's going to be 6 different variations of asphalt out there to challenge this weekend. Now, the aforementioned Tom Christensen, we've now got that interview.
I think they record.
Tom, a big moment and a big opportunity for you this weekend.
It's like I really can't believe it. I just try to live in the now and just try to enjoy, and I definitely do. I feel the car feels just brilliant, and I'm just so happy to drive. He's just driving with a smile on the face all the time. So really thankful for this, and yeah, just go forward now.
And also your native language, please.
Sorry?
Explain the situation in Swedish.
Absolutely fantastic. With a smile on his face throughout the rally. There's going to be plenty of smiles, I am sure. Now, we're in the midst of Shakedown at the moment. Kalle Rovanperä has put down the fastest time through Shakedown, and it is a Toyota 123 in terms of times for Shakedown at the moment, but they'll be running through Shakedown a couple more times, so we'll see the variations of that and update you. Okay, well, let's also update you on what's happening for the week. At the moment, it's a good Thursday morning to you from Croatia, but we have a ceremonial start in the evening around 7 to 8:15. Then tomorrow morning, Friday, it's 8 stages. 8:30 will start, and 7:45 will finish 8 stages on Saturday. 9 to 16 of those stages, 7:15 till 7 p.m. It's a long day. Both of those are Friday just under 100 kilometers and Saturday over 100 kilometers. Then we finish up Sunday with 4 stages starting at 6:30 and finishing at 3 p.m. Remember, it is local time, so wherever you are around the world, set your clocks and make sure you tune in for all of the action. Well, as I mentioned, we'll be seeing you at the ceremonial start. So from myself and PK, it's goodbye until this evening.